So I've talked about this a lot, but I'm going to keep talking about it because it's really important that we talk about it. So yes, it's going to feel forced. So I've been a psychic medium for a year, and they told me a year ago that it was like totally different. It was going to be like a free will situation, like everybody's going to have a choice whether they were going to want to go or not. So what they told me this year is that that's technically true, but we made the choice before we came down here. So they give me the Matrix movie when Neo talks to the Oracle, and the Oracle says to Neo, "You're not here to make the choices, you're here to figure out why you already made them." And the implication of that quote, which is like the most famous quote of that movie series, and I never understood it. I never understood what the fuck she was saying. I was like, what the hell are you saying, lady? I don't know what the fuck she was saying until I started getting psychic downloads. And then, they told me about this. They're like, yeah, that's what that quote's about. It's about the implication that we make the choices of becoming humans and signing these soul contracts with, if you've heard about Dolores Cannon, she talks about soul contracts. A lot of people talk about this concept, but I've really been told about it over the last year. Is that we sign these soul contracts. That's what that quote is basically referring to, that we actually don't make a lot of the choices. We have this illusion of free will down here, but we don't actually we have the illusion of free will because we already made the choices before we came down here, and we're kind of just like playing out this like simulation of what we already chose and decided. That's what I've been told is what's going on here. And again, that's what the Matrix movies are talking about and all of that stuff. And again, it's duality. So duality is like holding two truths at once. So that's half of it, is that, yes, before we came down here, we made these choices, and we knew that we were going to get into this situation where the aliens were going to come and force us to change as a society. The other half of that is that when we're down here, it's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel like we don't have any choice. Because they're just going to tell you what to do and where to go, and they have technology that's going to force you to do it. Now, it's not going to harm anybody. That's the thing about it. That's the difference between gun owners and aliens. Is that gun owners can harm you and actually murder you to enforce, keeping their guns and keeping this society the way that we are. Aliens have these density scanners that will just freeze you and paralyze your body so that you cannot fight back. And that we will, yes, have to confiscate anything that harms people. And people who don't have control over their neural pathways. And we've been manipulated as an entire society. And so, that's the thing. It's not gun owners' faults. But I also want to say, this isn't gun owners' faults. This is not your faults, guys. This is the manipulated society that we have been put into. And that you guys, unfortunately, have been manipulated into. And have been sold this idea that guns are, keep you safe and is a right and all of this stuff. It's all the propaganda. It's all the Matrix. It's all the lies. That we've been sold. And we've been sold a bunch of lies about a bunch of stuff. It's not just gun owners, all of us have been, we've been sold that, medications solve our fucking problems, and that our food's not being poisoned, and, all the bullshit that they've, sold and lied to us about. So everybody's contracted different lies that they, agreed to. I contracted lies in my life. I was told all sorts of stuff about myself, that I was nuts, that I was crazy, that I was not doing the right thing when I was just trying to stand up for children. I was gaslit, also. So my lies really revolved around protecting children. Some people's lies revolve around, owning guns or believing that this tyrannical government is actually working for us, or that the government actually protects us at all. Any type of government whatsoever. It doesn't matter what side you're on, that the government has our best interest at heart. We now know that they are in cahoots with other governments to completely coerce and manipulate all of us. So across the globe, it's not just here in America. So, unfortunately, that's going to be, and the school shootings and all that stuff, it's got to stop. We have to get to a civilized place in society, and that's, where we're just, not at as a whole. And so it is going to feel very forced. It's going to feel forced for some people, unfortunately, but you're not being forced on a God level, on an esoteric. You know how God's like, oh, you have free will down here on Earth. Well, you and him signed a soul contract together before you came down here. It's not that you just signed the soul contract. It's you and God sit down, and he lets you know what's going on before you come down here. It's like full consent. He's not a non-consensual God. He's a very consensual God. But at the same time, we agree to forget that we already consented to it. That's part of the experience down here as humans, is we agree to forget that we decided to explore this part of the galaxy that is God, and explore his soul and his mind as a human, and explore what it means to be disconnected from him as an entire society, and then what it's going to mean to be reconnected back to him as an entire society. And so where we're at in society is the worst, farthest away part of God that we can get as a complete society, as a globe. And so, yeah, guns are part of that, unfortunately, because they cause people to literally lose their souls and their minds down here. And that's like what we're trying to prevent as much as possible, is keep as many human souls and consciousness like here to learn their lessons and experience what it means to be a human. Like, I've gotten different channels at animals. It's a little different. I'm not going to get into the animal shit right now, but humans are the priority on this planet. And we are not having a good time right now, and that's by design. That's by God's design. He designed us to not have a good time, because that's the whole point of even becoming, even incarnating, is to get, is to disconnect from him, because there is no such thing as hell. And that's what I'm saying. The Christians manipulated the Bible again, so that we don't know what hell actually is, and we don't know what ascension actually is. They tell us that hell is this other realm that you're going to go to if you act really bad down here. No, it's actually this realm, and if you're acting bad down here, you're going to experience that. And also, even if you don't act bad, you can still experience hell, which is all of us light workers. And that's where, again, the Bible has gaslit the fuck out of us light workers to make us believe that something is inherently wrong with us, because you get punished in the Bible if you're doing bad stuff. But down here, you can get punished even if you're not doing bad stuff, because God's trying to train you for ascension periods. So like, that's the issue with the Bible. And then ascension is a whole planetary experience. It's not just one experience that a man did for 3 days, which is what the Bible tells us. But it's a death and a rebirth of the whole planet. And it's actually the society, and it's actually our conscious awareness that dies and is reborn, and nothing else. It's not our physical bodies. Which, again, they manipulate in the Bible and tell us that Jesus' body died, but it was actually his consciousness and his identity of who he used to be, and then he switched society over with all his little starseed friends down at the temples back in his day, and that was the last time we had ascension, and now we're back again. I get the song, guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. All the starseeds and light workers and Jesus and Christ consciousness, right? And that's what we're realizing Jesus was. It wasn't a person. It was a conscious awareness that was born within millions of people's minds and souls to ascend the planet so that we can have a functional society, because that's a natural part of Earth's life cycles, is ascension and descension. Ascension is a cycle that occurs every 26,000 years. And then descension occurs every 26,000 years technically as well. But it's like they cycle in a 13,000 year cycle. So we go in a 13,000 year cycle of ascension, then we go down for 13,000 years into descension, then we go back up. I guess it's every 13,000 years technically that ascension and descension occur. Or no. No, okay, it is every 26,000 years, because then descension is a whole 13,000 years. So ascension is 13,000 years, and descension is 13,000 years, and that's what makes up the 26,000 year cycle. Is one cycle of ascension and descension. It makes up a cycle of Earth. And I'm a psychic download again. I get these channels downloaded to me through channeling with God, and I've been doing it for a year, and you can check out my whole story and all that stuff. But again, if this doesn't resonate with you, do not worry. Don't worry. And they're still going to have gun ranges, so it's not like guns are going to go away. It's just that, like, we're not going to have them in the same capacity that we do now. So again, we're not taking everything away. We're just shifting and transitioning it so it's safe and equal for everybody and fair. And, like, we're not scared anymore and all this stuff. And I promise you, I know it sounds horrible right now, but, like, it's going to be a good situation for everybody. And they're going to fill our time with other things other than... They're going to give us, like, good hobbies to do now. So I really don't even think people are going to miss guns at all. Because they're going to have other shit that they're going to like way better. I don't know what... We're going to invent new stuff. It's going to be all different and stuff. So again, this doesn't need to resonate with you though. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is not for everybody, but I'm just answering this because you're the one who asked it.